In the swamps and cities of southern Louisiana, 4 post-apocalyptic survivors blaze a trail to find themselves, their adversaries, and the solution to stopping the second coming of the apocalypse. Welcome to Rad Rolls, a Fallout tabletop RPG.
Let's get back to the situation here. I want to pick up with so kind of where everybody is. Let's get back to square one. Everybody is in the mansion looking for essentially a cure for the deep wound, which is the wounds that the monsters that came up from the ground gave you. About called her Moaning Myrtle, but Madame Malavance is the person that said that there would be some a medical facility here that you'd be able to get that fixed. You've gone into the mansion. There's some weird stuff going on. Clark literally just like did a dunkaroo into some pure alcohol for everybody. Hazel's and he's resting in the library. Hazel's there. She's looking through a bunch of these books. That's The Secret to Immortality. That's really just a bunch of gibberish. It mentions a golem in one of the books. I think that was a key piece of information from there. Pep and Lonnie have been invited to the hall for a party where they saw 2 mysterious hazmat suit wearing people that turned out to be Marty and you don't know her name yet, but her name is Esther, and that's actually an Extra Life character that somebody was like, I want a voodoo person by the name of Esther. And I was like, well, there's already a voodoo person, and I don't really care about the name, so sure, Esther. Yeah, put it in the chat. That once you know their name, then you can like fully silence them in the Book of Horrors. So you all have run into Marty. Marty tells you, he told you something at first, and then you tried to hold him down, stick your hand to his mouth to make sure he doesn't talk. His voodoo lady comes out and perceptively gives you pain in your back that stuns you enough for Marty to get away right before he says, you will never leave this house. So let's start with Pep and Lonnie. You're on the floor. You've recovered a little bit. You're not feeling the pain anymore, but it was an incredibly weird sensation, especially for you, Pep, with your puffy shirt and power armor, undergoing the intense level of pain that feels like it's dug into your back like a gigantic splinter of metal. So what are you guys doing?
So Pep is going to call out to Lonnie. Lonnie, my back hurts. My back hurts real bad. Help me up.
Yeah.
Help me up.
Yeah. Give me like 3 minutes. Oh.
3 minutes. All right. So let's just lay here for 3 minutes.
Okay. 3
and recover.
3 minutes.
Do you think the other two's backs hurt too? Just us. We the lucky ones?
I don't know. I didn't hear them scream. I think Clark's probably been through enough today.
Big house. Maybe couldn't hear him.
That's true. We were a couple hallways down. Well, maybe if they heard us, they'll come and check on us, unless they're taking 3 minutes. You know what? They're probably taking 5 minutes. I bet they're taking 5 minutes.
Let's take 5. Let's, all things being equal, let's take 5 minutes.
We deserve it. Lonnie's going to check his hand, the one that probably got a nice bite on it.
Was that the hand? Did you have a deep wound as well?
He stuck his hand in Marty's
That's
mouth,
right. Yeah, I'm just making sure that you didn't deep wound your hand into Marty's open mouth.
What was my deep wound? I mean, I don't think it was my hand.
You got
but
scratched. You got scratched by
It was just like, I thought it was like your chest and then Hazel's like entire arms.
Okay.
Yeah,
But no,
Hazel's
like this.
entire arms in your chest. Yeah.
No, like my goal was when Marty was trying to peace out, like, no, like stop him and then like shove something in his mouth to keep him from talking. And he bit down, which, you know, I can respect that. And I mean, I would have in the moment, I would have done the same thing. I mean, so, you know, should have saw that coming. I just want to check it. I mean, the damage has been done. I'm just like, you know, am I going to have to get a shot for this or?
Yeah. Do perception plus medicine for difficulty 0.
Perception, medicine. Oh my God.
2 successes. Mark that AP, my friend. Mark that AP. You look down. The weird thing about this is that while your hand is covered in a bite mark, you probably suffered 1 damage. I'm gonna say that the armor took some of that, you know, mechanically. You notice bite marks, some spit, but also a kind of like green goo of some sort that looks a little weird.
I think Marty had a cold.
Marty and the women are ghouls, right? Right.
They're
It's
They-
complicated.
they're ghouls. They look like ghouls, but
look
they
like ghouls.
aren't technically ghouls.
As far as Pep knows, they're ghouls. Like, could ghouls get colds, Lonnie?
You know, the alternative for what's on my hand. You know, I think I'm done thinking about it, and I'm just going to wipe my hand on my pants.
And hey, while we're on it, why do ghouls need hazmat suits? That's weird, right, Lonnie?
Unless they were trying to protect themselves from something that wasn't radiation. We did find a bathtub full of boiling alcohol, for example. I doubt that's hospitable to any skin type, truth be told.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You should maybe hang on to those hazmat suits then. I mean, after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been what, like 10 seconds?
Let's just say let's have the 5 minutes start now.
Yeah,
Just
like
now.
right. Yeah, I'll find it on the Pit Boy and now.
Set a timer.
Yeah.
Just gonna take a breath
So
here.
I'll leave you all there to spend your 5 minutes of silence and recovery, and transition my time to Hazel and Clark. Hazel, you're still kind of like perusing these books, getting a little frustrated because there's not that much actual intelligible information. Clark, you are recovering in one of the chase lounges in the room. In the matter of like a few minutes that you've been recovering, you actually feel up on your head that you are growing back a kind of like a nice like buzz cut style hairdo. Your hair is growing pretty fast in general.
Well, that is comforting. I would like to remind you that Clark has actually gone to the closet to look for a hat.
That's
and,
right.
He has found his hat. It is a straw hat. It's a little bit ratty, but it's something that's going to keep his head warm as it grows back out, and a wide enough brim to kind of hide the fact that he doesn't have full eyebrows yet again. But yeah, I mean, generally, Clark is back to being very quiet, almost like the first time that he has met the rest of the crew, which he has not been quiet for quite some time.
I remember the straw hat. When you put on that straw hat, there was a mirror in that closet, and you also noticed that your hair is growing back white.
That's actually pretty nice. Yeah, he's okay with that.
Cool. Hazel, everyone has kind of left. Clark is getting his straw hat. What are you doing in this library here? Are you kind of moving on? What's the GP?
Okay, so Hazel, looking through the books, noticed that pretty much all of them, except for the first volume and about half of the second volume, are all of these strange, unreadable symbols. She is going to take the first, second, and third books with her when she has some downtime. She is convinced that if there's any kind of sense to this, if this is some sort of new language, if this is something she can learn and decode, she thinks these 3 books will be enough for her to learn how to read and decipher this strange alien-looking chicken scratch. And before she leaves, she thinks to herself, you know what? If I had a big house, but I spent all this time writing and rereading my own journals, I would have some sort of secret hiding spot in the library where I would keep something if I needed it close at hand in a hurry. It might be a snack. It might be some sort of decoder. It might be a secret passageway. It might be a bottle of Mentats. I'm going to see if I can figure out if any of these shelves or any of this furniture has a secret compartment or a lever or a switch or anything looks like it should. If anything in here stands out as being more than it seems to be.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you roll luck plus sneak for a difficulty 2?
Luck plus sneak. And I have 4 luck points left. I'm going to use one of my. Let's see. I'm trying to. I don't know if I don't have any action points left. So if I don't roll
Luck is
well,
for
I'll
rerolling.
reuse the luck.
Yeah.
So I'll roll that. How does it look?
You got 2 successes from that.
That's just going to do it.
It is. So let's see. Pep has the blue key. If I remember correctly, you found a key in one of the things. Hazel, you are searching through these books, incredibly frustrated, but you come across a book that feels a little solid to you, and you actually click the book out, like you're going to pull it out, and it stops on the shelf. And from under the chase lounge that Clark had been hanging on, a compartment flaps down and open, and in there you discover the green key.
Oh, there's something hidden under the chase lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! Well, so I discovered the spot for the green key, or I discovered the green key.
You discovered the spot, and you discovered the green key. It was kind of like popped under there. So imagine like if something under the chase lounge like opened, it would kind of roll out in front of you. Okay,
I am going to attempt to use that.
Okay, so where are you going?
Well, I have that. I am taking those 3 volumes of the books with me. I think for now I'm done here. I'm going to see if I can track down where Clark and everybody else headed, because splitting the party is bad. I'm going to try and catch up to everybody else.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's safer that way.
Let's just say everybody meets back up in the main hall, unless there was something you needed to do, Clark. You got to go to the bathroom again, dunk your head in some pure alcohol again?
No.
Okay, cool.
Just tilt the straw hat to a jaunty angle.
Great. So you all are reunited in the main hall. You can debrief if you wish.
Holy
these
shit,
two-
guys! What
Are these two
happened?
still on the floor?
Yeah, we're still taking our fiver.
Guys, what the
Clark,
fuck?
Clark's gonna see you two laying down on the floor and just lay down next to you,
Uh,
defeated.
Yeah, they got you too, right in the back.
I don't know if they got me so much as I got myself.
Oh, so we saw Marty. Marty was here. We tried to stop him, but his lady friend, she superpowered us in the back. I don't know what is it, magic, laser beams. I don't know, but our backs hurt real bad.
Hazel's there. She's gonna do can she do a medical check on them? See what's up with them?
Yeah, intelligence. No, perception plus medicine for difficulty 0.
Perception plus medicine. Really?
You got 0 successes, but I will say that you look over them and you cannot. The result would be the same in a metagame sense. You cannot sense that anything's particularly wrong with them.
Am I smart enough to figure out it might be something mental if it's not something physical?
Oh no.
No, I don't think on a 0 successes that you're smart enough to do that.
All right. Well,
I
you
think
guys
you can-
look fine. I think
could
you
assume
should
we're
walk it off.
lying.
Guys,
I
just
think you
walk-
could look at the three of us laying down on the floor, one of which has put themselves there by choice, and determine if anything is mentally wrong with these three.
Oh, there's so much stuff mentally wrong with
There's
these three.
so much wrong.
That's not what we're trying to figure
Going
out.
through a lot right now.
Ah,
Sometimes
So
you just gotta
guys-
lay on the floor in a haunted house that you're now trapped in. Oh, hey, fun fact. You should find 2 hazmat suits there. I suggest you guys hang on to those in case we come across any more boiling hot alcohol. You know, might be good to have, or maybe we should test to see if it actually works against boiling hot burning alcohol.
Okay, so we have 2 empty hazmat. What did I miss, guys? What? Seriously?
Well, it would have been. It's not to toot Lonnie and I's horn, but if we had managed to stop Marty, it would have been pretty cool. We tackled him. I wrapped a towel around his head. It was a whole thing.
What?
Yeah, it's a bathrobe. But it didn't go as planned. It did not go as planned. Lonnie got his hand bit, but I think he's okay. He just got some snot on it.
Guys, I swear you were gone for 10 minutes. How did this happen?
And what a 10 minutes it was. Also, Marty said we're never leaving this house alive or ever again. I don't know. I was kind of distracted by the searing pain in my spine.
Okay.
But, so I think maybe
right.
priority
Front
1
door.
is get out of the house.
Okay.
Have you tried to
hold
leave
on.
through the front door yet?
No, we've been on the ground the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel
Hazel's going to go over to the door and see. So and she's first going to say, okay, so they took off their hazmat suits and they ran out the front door.
Yes.
She's going to investigate the door and see if the door is locked, if it's open, if this storm outside has dissipated yet. What's up with that?
Okay, yeah. You don't need to roll for this, but I'll tell you that when you turn the knob turns fine. You can kind of peek through the door peephole. I'm saying that the doors have peepholes. You can kind of peep through there. You can see that the rad storm is still happening outside, but the door could open.
Okay, so the door's not locked. I think he was trying to scare you guys. And honestly, it's not a good time for us to leave the house anyway. If they're out there and we're in here, I think that gives us an advantage.
I want you to take a moment to explain to me the advantage of this spooky house with the faucets that spray hot alcohol with magic spine superpower things going on. This does not sound like a safe place, Hazel.
Okay, so she's actually going to kind of switch into Schoolmar mode and go, all right, well, first off, there's a big old rad storm, really, really dangerous for people who aren't ghouls and aren't immortal, even for people who are immortal outside. So we are by default safer in here, even with 2 hazmat suits. Secondly, if he's out there and there's no other way in, we can keep him where we don't have to keep an eye on him. Whatever he's doing, we will track him down later. Thirdly, we haven't really explored most of this house. We may be able to find weapons. We may be able to find food, supplies. It's already shelter. And in defense of the house, the whole like toxic, hot, industrial alcohol bath being a bad idea. Honestly, I could have told you that was a bad idea if anybody had asked. We'll just make sure we don't do that anymore.
You know what I think, Hazel? You know what I think?
What do you
I think you're only saying this because there's a bunch of books in this old house, and you're a big nerd.
That's true, but I've already taken the 3 books that interest me. Most of the books are filled with some sort of weird, strange, cryptic cipher writing system that I can't read yet. So
Real.
honestly, yeah. If when you're feeling better, actually she gets down, she kind of tries to, like, he's on the ground, but she's going to try and show him what's in the second book, that the book jumps back and forth between English and some sort of like hieroglyphic, chicken scratchy, weird alien cipher. And she's like, so from what I can tell, supposedly every book in that library was written by Marty over the course of like 100 and something years, but only the first 2 books have any readable English in them. The rest are this weird, whatever it is, chicken scratch. It's like it's like a code. It's something. I need some time to try and figure out what it is, and if it's actually something I can read, or if it's just him having some sort of psychotic break and putting it down on paper. I won't know until I have some time with it. And honestly, probably this time, right now, is not the time. So for now, can you get up, or are you stuck on the ground?
Hey, Pep, do you think this house, would have any food? I could really eat.
Have we been to the kitchen? This house has got to have a kitchen. We can go to the kitchen.
Doesn't that sound really good? Don't you just kind of want to eat some food and just kind of hang out a little longer? Just a little while.
If there's a kitchen, it's probably on the ground. If there's a kitchen, it's probably on the ground floor, and it's probably near that big dining room. Because if they actually have like dinner parties here, they would need the room where people cook stuff to be close enough that the food wouldn't be cold by the time it gets there. We can keep looking downstairs, or we can go upstairs and see if we can find some sort of, I don't know, some sort of defenses, weapons, supplies. Who knows? Possibly even caps. Who knows what's stored in here?
All right, let's finish exploring the rest of this haunted house.
You're saying that, but you're still laying on the ground. Can you get up?
I'm coming.
Pep's
gonna slowly get up, assuming and he can.
Can he get up?
Can they?
Oh, you're asking me? Yeah, you can get up. It was you perceived the way that roll worked is that you failed to know better than what was happening to you. After it essentially any of those any attacks from a mysterious force that may be considered voodoo magic, those aren't going to hurt you. They're just going to stun you and make you think. It's to make you believe that you are hurting.
They're not going to deep wound you?
No, there's no deep wound. Not yet, at least. Maybe that's when she gets to level 5 or whatever. That's when the deep wounds unlock.
We didn't need to hear that.
but you can get up fine. You're
Okay,
in power
so
armor too.
yeah, guys, walk it off. Come on, you got this. We got
Yeah,
this.
and get up
Let's go.
real tentatively.
All right. Hazel's going to help. Hazel's going to help Lonnie up. Come on.
I'm just going to throw you a curveball. I'm all right. Here we go. You all are in this
Another
group
one?
together. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
A hologram takes form. Standing before you, clad in blue light, is a woman dressed in a vault jumpsuit with a clear patch that reads Overseer. Her hair is long, dark, and styled properly, much like pre-war models from posters. She sports a small smirk and a cutting glance towards you, Lonnie. She lightly steps towards you gracefully with confidence and charisma. Into her eyes, and they glisten back, deep even through the hologram. Her presence leaves a trail of a projector, disguised in the walls, a candle fixture. She says, "Is this before or after the bombs have dropped?"
Oh, damn.
I guess after.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'll have to warn you. It may be a little dangerous for you to be here.
No
Oh,
crap,
shit.
ghost lady.
Oh, I appreciate the timely heads up. We've been here for a while now. Came in this room actually, and
She kind of she looks you over a little bit, Lonnie, and she says, "You look familiar. Do I know you?"
Ghost mom.
Go.
that's a you question.
She kind of takes her hand and takes it and sets it on your cheek and kind of brushes at your cheek.
I will stumble back like a step or two. Ghost, this ghost will not be touching me without permission.
The hologram kind of laughs a little bit and says, "I think something's going on here. I can really feel an energy in this room. So you all are probably vault dwellers, right?"
No, not a one
I don't
of
even
us.
know what I am anymore.
Huh.
Maybe.
That's weird. That's very strange. I mean, maybe your ancestors were probably vault dwellers, right? I mean, what year is this? Do you know?
Sadly, I think one of my ancestors now is technically a salamander.
That's a very strange thing to say,
That is a
Straw
strange
Hat
thing to
Man.
say.
It's been a strange couple of weeks.
True.
2281. Is that accurate?
I was impressed. I personally am impressed with you outside of this game. She says, "Wow, it's been that long, I guess. Well, I mean, maybe everything's dead now. So there's really not. How long have you all been here in the house?"
It's been like 15 minutes, and it's been a
long
real
enough.
rough 15 minutes.
It's
Yeah.
25, maybe 25 minutes.
Long enough
Too long.
for this message to have played a little bit earlier. It was literally laying in the floor for a while, and just I guess you were waiting for the right moment.
Well, I'm not really sure about the state of the world. That's the way that this was all set to be. But welcome to my house. Really my husband's house. Martin Beaufont. This is the Beaufont estate. They are all a bunch of very strange people that Martin really was the black sheep of the family for being the most kind and the most honest and loving person that I've ever known.
You don't say.
He go by Marty.
He went by Marty sometimes, depending on who he was talking to.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you a ghost? Or are you a robot? Are you somewhere here, like talking to us through a light lady thing? Are you real, basically? That's what I'm asking. That's a fair question, right, guys?
Like you're answering questions. This is.
Are you an artificial intelligence?
I think that's the closest approximation. I ended up before, so technically, I'm probably dead at this point, but I was alive. I finished up a lot of research that I had kind of uncovered here at the house of uploading consciousness to computers. It was a whole new thing. The problem that I found was that it was impossible for you to do that based on growth. So you couldn't naturally grow your consciousness on a computer because there was only limited space. But you could take almost like a snapshot of yourself that has like, I programmed this for one day to kind of come and help and be a part of things. So really, I mean, for me, yesterday, the bombs weren't dropped. I knew that they were going to drop, but they hadn't dropped. I was packing up things, getting ready to go to the vault, and I uploaded this snapshot of my brain right before I went. So I kind of knew that I would be here. That if this house stood, that I would try to help people through some stuff. But that's kind of, I guess, what I am.
But this is research that you would probably like to carry on later, right?
This was more of a test. This was a test,
okay.
a test of if I could do this thing. I was more interested in those days of the experiment of my vault.
All right, so
What
you could
exactly
probably shove one of these like memories into like maybe another, like imagine a person, but they're not like real yet. Like, so let's say you make a body and then it doesn't have a soul, and you think, you know what, I'll just take a recording of myself and put it in this body, and I'll redo it every 5 years for reasons. Like, would that be like, does that sound like a thing you would do?
I mean, this experiment was just for one day. So I'm not, if you all come here again, I would have to reintroduce myself to you all, which is strange that you look familiar and it's been so long since technically I've been awake, but I knew the risks. I knew what this would mean. But really past a single day, I'm not gonna remember something. So I would say it's more of a really sophisticated program.
Cool. So as a sophisticated program, what are the odds that you would go absolutely crazy if I said something disparaging about your husband?
I mean, pretty low. A lot of people
Low?
kind of
Cool.
kind of
He's still
revile.
alive and runs a brothel.
And I'm going to kill him.
I kind of want to kill him too.
He runs a brothel. What do you?
And he's got a magical side piece.
He's mixed me with a salamander.
He cut somebody's head off the other night in the rain.
The summary
I've
for
done
all
that.
this is true. The summary for this is he's kind of the person you knew, the Marty you knew. He's kind of the bad guy now.
And
Do
he
you
told
have any-
Clark to swallow his tongue, and he gave him the finger.
Do you have any
True.
proof of this?
Do I have to? I said the bombs dropped, and you pretty much just trusted me. So
Hazel is going to pull out the 3 copies of the first 3 volumes of his books. Say, were these written before you were uploaded, before you were created?
Yeah, those are
there's
the
a room
books
full of
of.
these
Those are the Gilbert Beaufont books. Gilbert Beaufont lived for back really in the 1800s. Much like a lot of the ancestors, tried to gain immortality.
So these were written
and-
by a guy named Gilbert Beaufont. Was he like Marty's great grandfather or something?
Something like that. I'm familiar with them, but not well enough. Though, I mean, that's the weirdest one of trying to preserve your entire consciousness in books seems silly, but then again, here I am in a computer. It's a little more sophisticated system, but I think it worked out a little better.
Did you and Marty have a son? Let's cut to the chase.
Oh no, we didn't have a son. No,
well, you
Sorry, Lonnie, you're
so
still an orphan.
so like you didn't have a son though.
Oh, I had a daughter, but not.
You had a
with Marty.
daughter, not
not
with
with
Marty.
Marty.
Cool. Yeah, Marty I think had a son, but not with you.
But wait, we don't know that.
We don't know
she's
that.
from-
Like it's.
She only exists from the moment that the original uploaded herself.
Oh,
on the
that's true.
computer.
Yeah, so
Who
like
knows what
you
happened
might
after?
have a son later, but I don't.
So
know.
guys, wait. Hold on. You said you have a daughter. What's your daughter's name?
My daughter's
what-
name?
Was she still alive?
I mean, I would assume. Well, that depends. Really, has Vault 18 opened?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the experiments have stopped, right?
no, they have not.
No.
They're really actually right now. You're looking at one of them, at least.
You're looking at probably 2 of them.
Yeah.
Am I what? I might be one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wait,
or
are you just realizing this?
Or you're just the son of an experiment who wanted out of the death loop.
So you mean to tell me? So wait, but you weren't on a. But you all are like, who's the clone here?
I'm definitely a clone.
And I
So
might be
you
a
were
clone.
from Vault 18.
No, just the salamander part was.
I think the vault called him a tourist or
Yes.
visitor.
Yes,
and,
I was
and cloned him.
How many residents were there in the vault? And I was like the 2 higher than it should have been, and Lonnie was 1 higher than it should have been.
Hazel
I don't
thinks-
remember that. My character. would
No,
remember
it
this.
was
Hazel
like
thinks
no.
for a minute.
You were like there was a number skipped. Like you were already there.
Yeah.
Like Clark. So Clark here had visited the vault and doesn't remember visiting the vault, and he's been spliced with salamander DNA. And then when I went there to the vault, it had been opened, and it registered me as like
Oh, you were like
citizen,
number 1
like-
for Marty.
Yeah, it registered me as a citizen, but it registered me as a child of resident number 2, an unknown entity, and we're assuming number 2 would have been like your husband, because if you were overseer, you would be assigned citizen number 1.
Yeah.
So the vault said that I was Marty's son, and then Hazel and
Lonnie,
you slow me down if you.
Yeah, Lonnie, it said you were visitor 598.
598. There were only 200 people assigned to that vault. And you were just like, the people of that vault were supposed to be cloned up for 50 years so that when everyone was released, everyone could go about their life. We would close the vault and that would be it. We even had a program that was going to send it into the ocean so nobody could get back to it.
Well,
just
I
thinking.
got bad news for you. Wait a minute. You
It-
had a program to send it into the ocean.
Yeah.
That partially
That
worked.
part worked.
Like
So-
a giant ovid thing of some sort under the ocean. Is this familiar to you at all? Maybe.
No, I think they just wanted to sink the vault so nobody could get to it. So the bad news is that this cloning project kept going on, but it wasn't a 50-year cycle, it was a 5-year cycle. And Marty seems to have been part of a ringleader. I'm guessing maybe had some inside information. I don't know.
He's leaned into the narrative here a little bit. Yeah.
So Marty is still alive.
Well,
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes. And had you logged in not 15 minutes ago, you would have seen him.
With his new side piece.
actually, a
And my
slight
hand in
amendment.
his mouth. That's a little, I don't want to talk about that.
Wait,
It's
what?
gross.
You stuck your hand in his mouth? I can't tell if that's incredibly, fantastically smart or intensely stupid. But
It's the
I
heat of
mean,
the moment. Heat of the moment.
let's not
Every time
overlook.
I've told Clark to swallow his tongue, he like gives me an evil look. Marty tells him to swallow his tongue, and he like does it. So like Marty has a power with words, and I didn't want him to run his mouth, so I put my hand in his mouth, and he bit it. Again, I respect it.
So he tells you things, and then you just do those things that he's told you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then that
like it.
that means it worked.
What
means
worked?
it
What
worked.
was the experiment exactly? If you could just lay it out as, look, okay, all right.
Yeah. Talk to
I
us
need
like
you
we're
to
five.
understand. I need you to understand that I'm one of your little experiments here, and I need you to talk to me and explain what the fuck you were trying to do, why the fuck it involved me, and how the fuck am I going to not die because of it?
So when me and Marty got together, I mean, he was a brilliant deal maker, businessman, really was trying to change the image of his family estate. And I was a scientist. I was really looking on improving the human genome, of maximizing people's strengths, creating almost better versions of themselves to really master their skills through not necessarily splicing genes, but more really drawing out the best in people of and what that could mean of using your brain at that maximum capacity to be able to do and use your body in ways that you wouldn't naturally think. I never finished it because by the time that I had come up with that, Vault-Tec was already interested in having me as the overseer of Vault 18. They wanted me to focus particularly on a cloning project that was a little different from other cloning projects. And so we were going to clone the residents about every 10 to 15 years, depending on aging acceleration, and protect 200 people, protect a lot of the artifacts and things that we collected from New Orleans, and set them down there in the vault for about that like a 50-year period. And after that, we would have emerged, and then things would have gone normally for the most part.
Did you actually have the cloning working before the vault opened?
Yeah, we had the cloning working before the vault opened. There's 2 clone pods up in the attic.
fuck.
Good to know.
Do they still work?
I mean, I don't. They worked
You don't know.
200 years ago when I was uploaded.
Is the clones that you had developed in this house that those clone pods produce, do they have normal lifespans? Your whole plan was to give people sort of, I guess, their continued youth, so when they get out, they could live a full life, right? Was that ever tested?
I mean, for 24 hours, but after that, we had, it's Vault Tech. We had to kill them.
So you never actually let them go to see how long the clones would
course.
last.
When you clone yourself, you don't want the other clone to live.
No. You're misunderstanding. I know you kill the old clone. I don't care about the old clone. That guy's dead. We found his body already. I'm talking about, what about me? If I cloned myself into a new body, would that clone live a full life?
Well, it would live exactly as you are. It's an identical clone. I don't know. I don't know how
That's
you
not
could
helpful.
how to combine. I mean, there's the Super Mutant project that I know that West Tech was working on about creating the ultimate super soldier. That was more out of my ballpark, if that's something you're looking for. Outside of that,
All right, now this isn't my wheelhouse, first of all, but can you, let's say we wanted to clone Clark, but there's a lot of messed up stuff in Clark right now. He's got a lot of engine defects. No offense, Clark, you know this, it's the truth. Can we kind of, like filter that out into out of the clone? So, so we just keep the good stuff and we filter out the bad, the muck. We give him like a fresh engine. Can
Oh,
you
to
guys
my
do that?
knowledge,
Okay, Hazel?
no, you cannot.
You're fucked,
Hazel
Clark.
is kind of like rolling her eyes. She's like, okay, so Pep, it's not like an engine change. It's not like an oil change. Like they made changes to his DNA at like the genomic level.
It's just a blueprint,
You
though.
just scrub
Like
it. You just scrub it off. Scrub it off. Okay.
you file off the serial numbers. And
How about this?
Now he's regular. Give him some premium.
How about this? And I would like to make this like an actual like check or whatever. So maybe even like an intimidation of how I want to ask this.
Okay.
But I want to ask her: Is there something that Marty values so much that he would negotiate over said something?
Sorry,
I'm looking for like a bargaining chip kind of deal, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, just use a speech charisma check for difficulty. Difficulty 2, I would say, and I give you a mixed outcome if you failed. Yeah, you get a mixed outcome. Marty values what every single member of his family has ever valued.
Oh,
And
actually, I have smooth talker, so I can re-roll one of those before you continue.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, do that.
I was thinking I had something that might help.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Hey,
All right, so you get both. You get both. Marty values what every other member of his family has ever valued, which is immortality. And that has been his pursuit and goal from the beginning. The only other thing that he could value is family, because I think that's the real immortality.
But does he think that's the real immortality?
The Marty I
Because-
knew does, but I didn't know the Marty that swallowed tongues, made people swallow tongues, and cut off people's heads in the rain. The only murder I've seen him do is self-murder of the clones that we made of each other.
I have bad news on that one. We're fairly certain there are actually 7 Marty Beaufonts right now. So he has ceased killing the clones of himself, and apparently he's planning to put together like a full boy band. So that's happening. So the original idea of killing your clones as replacements for yourself is out the window. Second question, on this one is so from what you've told us, these journals are all from someone named Gilbert and his family, who apparently found some sort of immortality or longevity. What happened to Gilbert Beaufont?
Gilbert Beaufont died. He thought that writing down his consciousness, and he developed his own language for how to do that, would grant him life beyond in a different form, which was his library. And so that didn't work. He started as kind of a journal of his ancestor that tried it, and then he tried it, and it didn't work. And so we've just Marty told me they just kept the books around because it's almost like its own gravestone. Like, it's almost like his soul is preserved. And that's why we don't even separate the books, because it would be like metaphorically destroying his soul.
Hazel kind of tucks the fact that she has 3 of the books separated, like she kind of tucks them behind her cape. Yeah.
What about your research notes? Are they in this house?
All of my research is in the basement facility. Most of everything that you're going to see in the accessible house is, that's all just old stuff. But all of my stuff's in the basement. I could hologram myself down there, but honestly, right now, I'm not set to be talking this much and providing this much information. I only have a limited battery life because we're running off of I know that the power is dead here. Like, there's only a few little generators in the basement running stuff, so I can't
So before you blip out, what are the dangers of this house? Because I feel like we already found a few, and I'd rather not. Well, I guess I own myself to blame for that one, but even so, what else are we? You said you were here to warn us about dangers. Well, give us your warning.
Do agility plus agility plus speech for difficulty 2.
Yeah, buddy.
There you go. She says to you, well, I believe that Shiloh has escaped.
Hello.
They are. Shiloh is, is Marty's Marty's grandfather. He's escaped, and he is running about, and I'm not sure where he is. I cannot track him at any time. He's incredibly dangerous. There's going to be a lot of things in this house that are kind of almost like pseudoscience in nature. Some of it's real, but everything is dangerous.
Even the food?
Do not. And then she fades out.
No.
Never answered about the food either.
Yeah.
Well, you said there's generators. Kind of safely make our way down to the basement. I can see if I can get one running again. See if we can bring her back.
See if we can bring her back and get more answers.
So at least try and find those research notes in the basement. Those seem like they could be helpful, but also maybe something in that lab will help with your deep wounds.
Yeah, let's see if there's like an auto dock that can handle whatever it is that, and she shows her hands, whatever this is. But guys, I no matter how hungry you are, eat your own supplies. Don't eat anything you find in this house. I think she was about to warn us not to eat something, and we don't know what that was. So we should probably make sure that we do not eat anything we find in this house. If you find something and it's very tempting, we'll take it with us until we can figure out if there's anything weird about it. But don't eat anything.
Tongue first, right?
I bet she didn't want us to eat our tongue.
Oh, maybe.
That may be on the list, yes.
Safe assumption there.
She seemed very upset to find out that Marty was cloning himself and had at least 7 copies of himself around.
Probably because her real self hasn't came back that she can remember.
Probably because the Marty she knew would never have done that. What the hell happened to Marty?
I mean, 200 years, that can do a thing to someone.
200 years, but we're talking 5 years at a time. So that's a considerably smaller window to mess somebody up. Granted, it doesn't take much. But
Pep is gonna
These-
silently
as
nod his head.
I look at my companions who all look completely different than they did when I first met them.
These stairs only go upstairs, right? There's no there's no downstairs. That's what they were referring to. Is there's no like obvious. Why
She referred to a basement. There's no basement on this map. That
Right.
That is the goal.
Yeah. Okay.
We also
All right.
haven't explored the West Wing.
We're going like upstairs. So I vote for. What would Clark want to do? Yeah, I don't know. Clark will let somebody else take the lead. Somebody else decide. Me as a player, I want to go to the left. If it makes anybody
Yeah, I'd mentioned the
feel
West Wing.
strongly. Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm not
and we've
sure
been in the
where,
dining room.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we'd find a door to go into the basement or the attic, but we should probably stick together. If there's some big bad Shiloh guy around here and something about him makes him dangerous, we're gonna need to be quiet and stick together.
Look, Clark now has a sword and is growing out white hair. So he's like basically Sephiroth at this point. So I'm not really worried about that. And he can regenerate, so whatever.
And your class. Well, I mean, I guess Sephiroth was a clone too. So
Kind of. Yeah,
So let me
exactly.
so we have the nightmare, we have
weirdness there.
Sephiroth / the Baba Yaga,
Sephiroth-
and we have the Crusher.
Sephiroth at the very least got Genova's DNA spliced with his or something like that, right? So there's similarities there to be found.
all right. So what room are we going to here?
We've been in the dining room. I'm going to take us to the tea hall.
Yeah, the tea hall is just a long corridor with various doors. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
All right.
Sorry.
Kitchen, then.
The kitchen.
Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Since we're not supposed to eat anything, I'm going to go in here.
Sure.
Unfortunate.
The kitchen is a fully capable cooking area. It can cook large meals and seems relatively clean and fixed up in comparison to the rest of the house. Various cooking implements are strewn about, along with other pots and pans. There's a deactivated Mr. Handy that's slumped on top of the stove in the corner.
I would like to see if there's any knives I can use as throwing knives.
Yeah, you roll perception plus melee weapons. Actually, perception plus throwing for difficulty 2. Mixed, I'll do mixed success as well. Okay, yeah, you find maybe like, let's see, so there's a 2 success, so that would be probably a total of 6 throwing knives.
And a cleaver. I want a cleaver, baby.
You do not find a cleaver, but you do
Damn.
find 6 throwing knives that you can add to your inventory. When you do that, you kind of hear the pipes creak and kind of rattle, and then they stop.
Guys,
Clark flinches at any pipes at this point.
so guys,
Hopefully nobody saw him.
I don't know how to say this, but anything, we probably shouldn't linger here too long. Anything you can see that you want to take with us, even anything that looks like it might be plantable or canned, and we'll figure out later if it's going to do us any good or not.
Hey, you said that pretty well.
Well, thank you, Lonnie.
Anyone want me to see if I can get this Mr. Handy up and working?
Canned sugar bombs? Seriously. Ugh.
Yes, I do want to see if you can get the Mr. Handy working.
All right,
Please do.
let me take a look at this, Mr. Handy. See if I can.
Yeah, intelligence plus repair for difficulty 2.
I'll throw assist your way.
Do intelligence and repair. Roll. I'm on the wrong
Yeah,
screen.
so
What did I do?
Lonnie and Pep get together and they kind of like work with this Mr. Handy, kind of getting into its back, connecting up some of the wires. At one point, the engine on the Mr. Handy kicks up and it starts to float, and it's missing essentially all of its eyes, and spins around a little bit, and kind of is jittering a bit. But then you can hear a voice within the Mr. Handy that says, "Hello, good sirs. It's great to see you today. Well, except for the part of not seeing you."
Good joke, robot. Good joke.
One.
I'm full of wonderful jokes. I'm a fantastic chef, too. May I cook you some meal?
We're going with no food, right? No food?
No food.
No, but Mr. Robot, can you show us where the basement is?
Ah, yes, the basement. You will need the red key. Yes, you will need the red key. It's a wonderful key to have to get into the basement.
All right, who's got the red? I got the blue key. Anyone got the red key? Nope.
I don't think any of us have that key yet. Hazel will actually ask, excuse me, since you mentioned keys, do you know what the blue key works with? Where the blue key goes to?
Ah, yes, the blue key. The blue key opens the pantry, the library, and hang on, let's see. Let me in the living room.
Oh, good to know.
Hang on, I'm trying to get. It opens as well the master bedroom, the private collections, and the tree hall. Or no, that would be that's not tree hall. That would be. Oh, yep. And the storage attic.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
And what of the green key?
Oh, the green key. Yes, the green key. The green key opens the greenhouse.
Oh.
That does make sense.
So the basement is the red key?
Where would we normally find the red key, Mr. Robot?
Why do I feel
Fantastic question. It is on the master of this house.
Mother of pearl. Could you show us where the basement door is?
I'd be happy to show you. The robot then hovers towards the door and knocks everything down. And can you please roll a athletics? Agility plus athletics for difficulty 1, everyone, as the robot glides through the kitchen appliances and things.
Agility plus athletics.
Athletics,
right?
yeah.
1 success for Hazel.
2 successes for Pep.
Nice job, Pep.
I'm on a hot
Clark
streak.
Clark's not on his game.
How are you
Lonnie.
so dainty in that power armor? I'm impressed.
What was the difficulty I just set for this? Does anybody know? What did I set?
I thought you said 2, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I thought I said too. Yeah, okay. So let's see. We got Lonnie, Pep, Clark. Okay, yeah. So everybody but Pep, right? Yes, Pep. You all get hit with pans, metal pans at a high speed, just like fleeing at you like really terrible frisbees from across the room as this robot tries to glide over the island in the middle of the room. And you all take 3 damage from these pans flying at you at high speed. The robot itself hits the wall on the other side, and the hover engine underneath it stops, sputters, and the robot's head just like smokes, and electricity just kind of crackles, and the robot falls to the ground.
We probably should have just asked.
I like to think
Fuck,
that
that's
actually
strong.
didn't dodge any of the pans. He just doesn't have power armor, so the pan just hit him and it didn't matter.
Yeah, didn't matter.
He's like, what are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing?
Well, so much for that idea. We could try and fix him again, but I think the same thing's going to happen.
Mark's going to
Okay.
walk over and kick it.
I see
Yeah.
some people use the buzzsaw arms as weapons off of these things. If anyone wants me to yank one out for you.
It's not a terrible idea, but
Look, I already
We don't
made you
really
a Death Claw spear, or whatever, Mystery Claw spear.
So are you going to yank the hands off the Mr. Handy?
Only if someone requests a Mr. Handy buzzsaw arm as a weapon.
I cannot
No
in good
taker?
conscience
We're good.
I cannot in good conscience say that's a great idea. But at some point, we can come back and get parts off of him if we want to. We'll know he's here.
And he won't
doesn't
see
look
it
like he's
coming.
going anywhere.
Yeah, just like when you ask the eyeless
true.
robot to go lead you somewhere.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
figure they're like programmed. They know a route.
It's real smart there, Pet. It's a great idea.
Well, at least we didn't ask him to cook us something.
Look, that's true.
But we
Lucky.
do have access to the pantry. Just making sure.
Give me my money back. But I worked on this.